Okay, so I'm gonna start the recording over. So I was thinking in the shower, as you can see. I'm like, when did I hit pink? Like, what did I actually do to hit pink? And I was thinking back to so I hit yellow like in my first like 3 weeks. Actually, I think I hit yellow and pink in September. So I joined it on August 10th, and by end of September I was pink. And the reason I went pink, when back then, like I find a lot of times now girls are really, because the kit is so good, girls are just really selling the kit. And when I started, I never sold the kit. I was like, no, this is a business. Like, you get the kit as a bonus, but it's a business. And I never sold it as a makeup discount. I never sold it as a kit to get to pink. Like, don't get me wrong. Later on, when I saw everyone else doing it, I started doing that myself, and I ended up with a lot of kidnappers. But when I initially hit pink, if I bring up, let's bring up my back office. I'm super curious to just see, like, I'm a big numbers person, and I can actually share. I can go back to way back in the day and show you guys what my back office looked like when I hit pink status. So my royalties. Let me just see here. And it would have been, oh my gosh, sorry. My computer's like slow right now, which is never slow. I'll screen share in 2 seconds. Just going to get to the right month. So it's September 2000. Okay, so go back. Sorry, it's getting so new here. Okay, so screen share. And screen share. Okay, so you guys will be able to see my screen. So when I hit pink, my first month. So on the left here, so where my cursor is, this is the sales that I did that month, okay? This is my first month, so let's keep that in mind. And we did $2,600 that month. I had 6 people in my company. I wonder if I can click and see who it was. This was my company. So look, there's April, and that's it. No one else on my team is still around, but April did $682 that month. Lisa LaRue did $475. I did 1,800. So, you know, like if you're gonna, and I'm not saying you have to do that to hit pink, but if you really want to push a level, like that's what you like need to be pushing. And we can even go, and then Natasha, who's actually was Ricky's sponsor, who was Tina's sponsor. That's that downline. So that downline's still around. This girl was a kidnapper. She stopped talking to me when she joined, and I remember being so upset, but I didn't care because she got me my fast start. So April was the second person that ever joined me. Lisa's gone, and Natasha's gone, and this girl's gone. So let's just go back for a second. I wonder if it'll take me back to that screen. No, it did not. Okay, hang on. Let's go back here. And then I had, come on. Why is it not going? Is it not going? Let's just do October. Okay, let's do September. Okay, so, and then I had 14 orders that month. I wonder if it'll show me what the orders are. Because I feel like that's also important, right? Like, what was I selling all the time? And so there was some people that had done, oh my God, Alex, that's so crazy. This girl just joined me last month. That's so weird. So it's just so funny looking back, right? And I know you all want to talk about sponsoring, and I promise we'll talk about that. But like, here's a perfect example. Here's a girl that bought a mascara for me in 2014 that just joined my team. Okay, so virtual party. Looks like some other girl. I don't know who Josie is. If I bring it up, oh, skincare collection. So I was buying, but look I was half pricing stuff because I didn't know. This is even with half price out. This is how I bought my whole collection. Eyeliner, only one mascara on that order. So I'm assuming that most of my orders were mascara. Like all we had back then was a little bit of skincare and some mascaras. So this is my back office when I hit pink. So I think we have to put in perspective, and a big thing that I wrote down is having parties. Like I was doing parties back then. So here's Nella's party. This girl, she had joined my team probably 2 years ago, and she's just a casual buyer. There she is again. So she had a really good party that month. That was my first month. So I was one of those people that had an amazing party. But so there's one party. There's my own. Here's another party I hosted. She got a couple orders. And here's a couple parties that I did myself. So in my first month, I can't express enough of how important it is to host parties, because you're really not going to hit any level, you are not going to recruit. You are not going to do anything. There's girls that are, I'm just going to come back so you don't need to look at that anymore. There's girls that don't party in this business. Like, you know, there was a big discussion this week in the Black Status group talking, you know, like people, someone like Brittany Kaplan, I'll use her as the example because she's the one who posted it. And right away I commented under it. She's done 3 parties since she started with Younique. But you have to remember that you're not going to be like internet famous. You're not going to like, it's really hard to build a business by, yes, going live is going to help you huge, but you're not going to get the same sales and relationships as you will in a party because going live, like unless you have a lot of viewers, like I get some random sales from going live, but rarely. Most of my orders and my new customers and my new recruits are all either party hosts or they're customers from a party. Like even tonight in my group party that I'm doing, some girl, I did the pumpkin game in the group party and some girl commented and I sent her the message with the American prices, like these are the prices for the mascaras. She's like, oh, I wish I could, but I have no money. I'm like, ding, 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 this girl has no money. She needs this business. So I wrote her back and I said, you know what? I'm like, if you're ever, I can't even remember how I worded it, but you know what? It's probably in my back office. I'll tell you exactly what I said to this girl. Has she joined yet? No, but at least I opened the conversation and she hasn't read my message yet. She said, thanks, that's okay. They all would be awesome, but I don't have any money right now. And I said, no worries. Are you a stay-at-home mom? And then she said, no, I'm a stay-at-home aunt. And I said, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I get paid though. Yeah, I don't get paid, but I get time with my niece and nephew. And I'm like, well, women start their own businesses from I'm like, I help women start their own businesses from their cell phone. So if you ever need money, let me know. That's literally all I wrote her. Then she said, okay, how much is it to start? So it's actually an insane deal. I said to her, $99 for 420 in makeup, and the business is free. I'm really emphasizing the business is free. They don't pay. She's like, there's no monthly payment. I said, nope, literally nothing after you get your kit. We'd start your training right away, busiest time of the year right now. And then I told her I hit the top of the company this year after 3 years in the business. So now I thrive on helping other women do the same. So a way that you guys could sort of like reformulate, because you're like, well, I can't say that I hit the top of the company, or I can't say, you can 100% say I help other women build their businesses. You are all capable of helping other women at this point, especially looking at the people that are on this call. You guys all, you get it. Like after about 30 to 60 days in this business, you either get it or you don't. And like, you're going to have kidnappers. You're going to have people that are just not, they just don't understand the business. They don't want to put in the time. This is not something that you can do. And like, you know, like the hours that I put in, and some days are less than others. Like today, I really haven't worked much. I got home from work. I always work on my lunch hour. So there's 40 minutes that I worked. I got home, but I had stuff to do because I'm leaving for Toronto tomorrow. I went to soccer tonight. I had to shower. This is the first pretty much time, except for about an hour or so before I went to soccer, that I've worked. So I've really only worked an hour or two today. But in that hour or two, I've managed to sell a hottie. I sold a mascara at soccer tonight. Like, you don't know where this business is going to lead you, and you don't need to be constantly talking about it, but you do need to be making people aware of what you do, and you need to be making them aware every single day, because people, you get lost in their newsfeed. Like, unfortunately, we're not that important. No offense to anybody, but we're really not that important to people's newsfeed. So, you know, if there's 1,000 things in their newsfeed that day, they may not see your post that day. So don't feel like you're posting too much or you're spamming people. And I think a lot of us have really embraced that first 15 group. I'm seeing girls that are like struggled for sales, comments, likes, and they're getting a ton now from people that are, you know, yes, of course, a lot of them are us, but a lot of them are not. Like, I get a ton of likes and comments. It's the same thing for me. I wasn't getting like crazy engagement on all my stuff, and I still don't. And that's okay, because that's not how I've built my business. I've literally, like, the first thing, Push to Pink, the first thing I wrote down, parties non-negotiable. And I know I say it over and over and over again. And I know as a teacher, I have to keep repeating that. But honestly, if you're not working to get parties are not hard to get. You just have to literally put the time in, and you'll get your wording down. Like, there's wording that's like, I find the more real and casual you are about it. Like, hey, I'm hosting this awesome lips and lashes event. Super easy. I do the work. You earn free product. What do you think? Or can I add you to my list? Like, I think, what did I say today? I felt like I was like, oh yeah, this is a good message. And I think she said, sounds great. And I haven't even written her back yet. And I didn't end up setting up my parties tonight, which was bad, but I will this weekend. I wrote, "Hey Cassia, how are you? This may or may not." Oh, you know what? I threw down the Bob Heilig wording. I said, "This may or may not be for you, but I'm starting up a lips and lashes event tonight. What's in it for you is that it's free to do and you can earn free makeup. I do the work, you gain the rewards. Would you be open to more information?" And then she wrote, "Yeah, sure." I haven't written her back yet, but like then when you go back in for that party, like to talk to her about it again, may or may not be for you, but hey, like it's free to do and you can earn free makeup. Like it's pretty, make it simple. And you know, when I go back in and tell her, I'll say, you know what, it couldn't be easier. Literally, I will add you into my event. You add your girlfriends in, we make you a lash link. And if girls order makeup, you earn points towards free product. That's it. So, the shorter the better, and really understand that. The other thing too, so for recruiting, the other way that I meet new people is in yard sale groups. So if you've kind of maxed out, you should be focusing on your warm market when you first start. But if I look at the people that are in my back office, when I hit pink, pulling that up for you guys, those people, none of those people I met like I knew beforehand. Like April, I randomly added to Facebook. I just started adding people. I was adding people all the time to Facebook. Like I was like, whatever, I don't know this person. I'm like, oh, April, look, she likes makeup. Like I don't even know. And I added her, and now she's one of my like strongest elites. You know, you just don't know. And I've done that with a lot of girls too. So a lot of my recruits have been people that I've randomly added to Facebook. And I know they say like, oh, don't just add random people. Do it, because Katie Bradley's one of my random ads. April was a random ad. Like there's people that I've gone through in my back office that are still on my team that I randomly added to Facebook. And I do the yard sale groups. I find, you know, I think a lot of people are afraid of them. I have exactly the lingo that you can use to talk to people on there. It may or may not be for you. I'm using all of Bob Heilig's stuff. If you don't know already, all of his, here, you know what? I'm obsessed with the screen share option. So I'm going to show you exactly. Sorry, there's tons of messages going on here. But if you go to files, okay, in the back office right here, you're going to have, it's this one, this script book. Like I'm not probably not supposed to have it in here, but I've been using this for about 6 months because he gave a lot of this stuff away like before. Where is this thing where he talks about, anyways, these are all building rapport. He gives you everything that's like things you can say, right? Like, but I always use this may or may not be for you. But if I sent you my company video, so I've been sending the unique video on the site. I don't know if you guys know about that either. I know that I said, like, we often in our trainings tell you to make your own video, and like mine was in the car and it wasn't really like, you know, it was very like casual, and that's fine. But Bob Heilig said that you really should have a third-party tool, which is exactly what this is at the bottom here. So I've been using this video here. If you click on it, usually there's so then I click here, and then I'll click the YouTube option, and I just copy and paste this. It's 5 minutes. It's to the point. If you've never watched it, that's what I've been using, and I've had some good response from it. I've only been doing it for about a week or so, because before that I was using this video on my channel here. I'm sure some of you have seen it before, but I'll just show you because I know there's new people on the call. I use this one. What is it so you can see that, and it's kind of good. If like for me, I'm like, look, I've talked to 221 people. That's how many views. Like, I mean, maybe a couple of those people are girls on my team I've sent the video to. And I know other girls have used this video too, but like, that's a lot of people that I've talked to. I made this video in April, I think, and it just kind of talks about what we do. But now that I'm using the company video, it's more personal. Melanie and Derek go over, like, you know, they go over what the unique foundation is, something I didn't really, maybe I did talk about it, but it's short to the point, but it's professional, right? And we want to look professional when we're in this business. We're professionals. So I think, so I use this for when I'm talking to people in yard sale groups, and I'm sure if you guys haven't seen the video on that, I'm looking at the people on here, I'm sure most of you have. Lulu, I'm not sure if you have, but it's on my YouTube channel. It's right here, Sponsoring in Groups Without Spamming. So how to make it like, like there's a ton of everything I basically do is on here. So if you click on that, it'll show you exactly how I sponsor in groups. Nothing's really changed about that. And then if you go into, and I think this is really important because a lot of people just don't know, if you go into the files section on, oh my gosh, sorry, this thing keeps, so if you go into the file section on Facebook, I did these not too long ago, sponsoring smart. I did mock conversations. So I gave you everything in here. Here's my exact post that I use in yard sale groups. Here's the exact photo. I tell you exactly how I do it. So here's my, and it's not very long. Here's some mock conversations. So the first one's a lady who's a stay-at-home mom and does not work already. So I did mock conversations with Melissa. She's on my team, but I was like, hey guys, I want you to, like, I told them how to answer. And then I showed exactly how I talk to people. And I mean, this is going to change over time, but at least gives you a base and you're going to figure out what works for you. Then I also did a conversation with Tina. She does work. So I had Tina pretend that she works. Like, yeah, I'm in retail, like clothes, like anyways. And this is like, it's very pertinent to like what most of the conversations are going to look like. People don't trust you right away. It's really hard to build trust when they don't know who you are. So you see like one word answers, close, after work, later. And I told her to do that. I'm like, be like you don't know me at all. I'm a weirdo from the internet, and like make sure that, you know, I wanted it realistic for you guys. And then this is my exact post. I literally have not changed this in 7-8 months. And on Facebook, I will go and I will add myself to, sorry, I don't know what's going on here. I will add myself to tons of groups. Like I'm in, like, I don't even know if I click on my groups, like, I don't even, like, there's so many that I'm in. I always try to add myself to a few yard sale groups a day. So anyway, so that's sort of like how I recruit cold recruiting. Are you messaging people daily in your network? Do you write down people who are not no? So like, are you messaging people every day? Are you telling them about this opportunity? Like any chance I get, anybody who complains about money, anybody who doesn't have money for the products, you should be sharing the opportunity with them. People who complain that they don't have money, this is a way to make money. And like, it's the given. And yeah, they're going to come back with, oh, I can't afford the kit. But when you tell them like, look, it's like 75% off, the business is free. You don't have any website fees. We don't have auto ships. We don't really, I don't even talk about the quota, because really to me, selling 4 mascaras over a 3-month period, you should be able to do that. And I mean, I don't even see that as a quota, because that's like, you know, I sold a mascara at soccer tonight. I could sell 2 more mascaras this week if I had to, and that was all I was selling. But I think you have to remember that if you're pushing to pink, you need a team, you need a few girls. So I had 6 girls on my team when I pushed, and I was really, and I know though, and it's almost easier when you have a smaller team to push to pink, because you're focusing on those girls only. And if they don't want to run the business, who cares? Move on, get somebody new. And you're all going to get kidnappers, and you're all going to get girls that tell you they want to work the business and then they don't. And then you're like, you know, you feel defeated, but don't feel defeated about that. I can't even tell you, like, if I look at my own back office, like I have 243 girls personally sponsored, and honestly 45 of them I think are still working, like, and 45 is like generous. So I'm always looking for new people that want to run this as a business, and I'm really focusing on helping my like 20 percenters, basically the people on my downline that make up 20% of my time, is the people that want to work the business. So if you've got 5 people on your team and 2 are runners, work with those people. Don't worry about the other people. If they want to come back, they're going to see what you're doing. You lead by example. And then I really want you to dig deep and know why you do this. If you come into this business and you don't have a why, if your why is to make money, like I say all the time, you will never make a penny, because we're all like, obviously we all want to make money, and that is not like, it's not like I'm like, oh yeah, people are doing this for free. But if that's your focus, people can read that off you. I can see it in posts. I can see people saying, you know, like, this is a deal, you should snatch this up now. Or like, you have salesy type posts and it looks like you're really trying to push the product, where you should be sharing the product. And there's an art to that. And if you don't understand that, you know, you kind of have to go and like, you know, you got to learn. Like I do, self-development every single morning. So whether that's a Bob Heilig video, whether that's, I'm obsessed with this new Simon guy that I keep posting in our Lost Beauties group. Anytime I find anything good, I post it in there in the morning. But 25% you should be doing self-development, 25% should be following up with customers, and 50% of this business should be building relationships with other people and getting to know people and genuinely getting to know people. Like, not actually like, trying to be fake so that you can be their friend so that they can get on your team. Because like, for me, I can't even imagine, like, because if you think about it in the long run, those are people that are going to be on your team, and they're going to be ones that you're spending the most time with, and they're going to be people that you're going to have a relationship with. So you're not going to want to be like fake friends with them. Then they join your team, and then like everything that they've told you, you're like not genuine about it. Like you legitimately need to get to know people. But your why should dig deep. Yes, I want to make money is what everybody starts with. Why do you want to make money? Well, I want my kids to be able to go on a trip. I want my kids to have the best life. Often for most women, it's for their kids, right? And for me, I really struggled with this part of my business. I was like, I don't even know why I do it. I loved it. Like, I just loved the idea of the business, and I loved pushing goals. So I was like, okay, I love pushing goals. I love the idea of collecting little charms. I love the idea of like trying to push myself. And that was essentially why I did it. And then I remember being in St. Louis, that convention. So my first convention, I was like, okay, like, I learned a ton. I learned how to train teams. I was like, okay, I've got this. And then in St. Louis, I really was like, why? Like, I really figured out my why. And I do this business for all of you girls. I literally get up every single day because I get so freaking excited to see your faces when you hit these levels and hit these promotions. And it's so hard sometimes because I'm like, man, I just showed you my back office, but I'm like, I had a good month. And I don't want to say I was lucky, because I will tell you the hours that I put in, like every second that I had when I started, I was working. Like if if I had a full weekend, and I mean, it's easier for some, and your journey is going to be slower if you've got kids, you've got a family. I was a single girl that just like rocked my business right from the get-go, because it like my business became my boyfriend. It was like my favorite joke. So it was like literally everything I invested my time into, and now that I have a boyfriend, I'm trying to balance everything, but I don't feel like this business should fit into your life, that like it should not be your whole life. And like, you still should be doing things. I've never missed a soccer game. I've never, stopped going to the gym. I've never given up things that I love to do. I gave up TV, no problem, but I already had to cancel my cable a year before I started with Younique. So that was easy for me. I found that I was like lazy. I was binge watching shows, and I'm like, what am I actually doing binge watching shows? And I felt like mundane, where this business gave me like a whole new set, like life. Like I had something to sit down and do all the time. I'm never bored in lineups. I'm never bored. I'm on my phone. I have things to look at. Like I'm like one of those, like, I'm like my students in my class, like they have to be stimulated every second of the day. And it's almost like I understand that, because that's how I am. I'm always like, so there's always something going on, my Facebook's nonstop now, but it wasn't always like that. I remember when I was sitting in the beginning, that first month, that I'd sit down and I'm like, what should I be doing right now? Like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing. So I started watching video after video after video. And I'm like, okay, I should be making friends, building my network as big as you can. You have 5,000 Facebook friends. If I'm not even close, none of you are close. Like, you have lots of space on your Facebook. I mean, I'm at like 3,100 friends. I've got tons of space on my Facebook still. To me, like, a lot of girls will fill up their Facebook right away, and then it's like over with. Your Facebook is your business. You want it to be it's sort of like your commercial, your platform. And the quicker you build that up, the bigger your business will get, because you don't know who's watching. Most people that join me, that message me, are not people that have ever liked a post, that have ever commented on a post. It's never been that way. So you really do need to like understand, like, you have no idea who's watching. So to hit pink, like, I know this is a push to pink, but this is good for any level call. I just didn't want, I didn't know how big the call would be or how many people would be jumping on. So I didn't want it to be a crazy large one. But this is information that it doesn't matter what level you're going for. This is the same thing. I haven't changed what I do. Like, honestly, if anything, the only thing that's changed in my business is I have more messages and more things to get back to and a bigger team to train. But that's it. There's nothing different about what I do now than what I did when I hit pink. I still try to do between $1,000 and $2,000 a month still. Like, that is a non-negotiable for me. If I'm for a year and a half, I was always the top salesperson on my team. Even for this month for my circle, like some girl just passed me and I'm like, oh my God, I got to put in an order. Like I've always felt like if I'm expecting people to put in orders, I should be putting in orders. I would never, I think the worst thing that I've seen girls do it, they falter like this, is if you depend on your team, and this is a big piece of advice to you, if you're depending on your team to get you to pink, you'll never get there. If you push yourself and, you motivate your team and you've got, you've got to do it. Like when I hit pink, I did 1,800 of that $2,000 quota that I needed. Teddy, go. Yeah, I think he's sleeping. Sorry. So I think, are there any questions? Like those were like the main points that I had written down. But now I want to open it up because I do have some extra time, like for questions or like anything that I said, you're like, what is she talking about? Because that's totally normal. You can turn on your mics and not be scared anymore. I'll put on my hottie. No, you guys are all going to be shy? You're not going to ask any questions? I can keep talking. But I want to make sure that I had time in case like there's anything that I said that you guys were like maybe unsure of. I know recruiting is hard. Recruiting is not easy for anybody. And I'm telling you, if you don't take the focus off recruiting and start doing parties, not only are you going to get sales, you're going to get new people on your Facebook and you're going to get potential recruits because you're going to talk about in those parties, you're going to talk about the opportunity. You have to. And anybody that you talk to in that party, if they say they can't order, offer them the opportunity. They don't have any money to order, no problem. Offer them the opportunity. Like you got to be not be afraid of going for no. Like I go for no every day. I'm like, whatever, you don't want the business, that's fine. Oh, Crystal's put up her hand.
I did. Can you hear me? I don't know.
I can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, like, are most of your parties online or like, are you pushing like home parties?
Home parties are amazing. I will say right now, I haven't done a home party since, God, it's been a while. And I keep saying to myself, my brother's getting married on Friday. And then after that, I'm literally okay. Now that my calendar has finally opened, I am going to push some home parties. I really want to do a couple in November. I'm doing a fundraiser at my school on October 19th. So I know I have that chunk. I'm hoping to get some orders there. Even though like the commission, I need the PRS. So I want as much PRS as possible this month. I need the PRS this month because my circle has to be at $10,000 if we're going to hit black. So I wish that I had booked some home parties. And you know what? I still might try towards the end of October if I could like snag even one home party. Like that's a guarantee. Anywhere from the worst home party I've ever had was 150, and that was a really bad one, but it was with people at work, so I didn't really care. So I was building relationships. And then the best one I've done like $1,000 home parties. So it just depends, right? And don't think if there's only 4 or 5 people going, even 3, that has been like the smaller parties are better. You spend more time with people. You spend more time getting to know them. Maybe you do a little bit of makeup for them. Like it's way better. So having really big home parties doesn't mean that you're going to make more sales. If anything, it's the opposite. Girls like to hide. They're like, well, there's lots of other girls ordering, so I don't have to order. Whereas if there's only 3, they kind of all feel pressure to place an order. So definitely, if you can book home parties, a lot of girls are doing events. Events can be great. Don't overdo it with the stock, though. Like, I don't want you guys sitting on, like, tons of stock. But you should have at least, like, for me, I'd go in with, like, 10 Epic mascaras, maybe, like, 5 hotties, and, like, because I know that it's stuff that I'm going to sell. And then I always have like random stuff in my trunk that I do need to unload. But those can be really great too. And I always ask like how many people are coming through the door. Like, if it's it's not their first event, then they usually have an idea of what to expect the next year.
Okay. Cause like I did an event, last month and like, it was like a bomb. It like hardly anyone walked through. So, and I was just starting out, so I only had like 2 Epics and like a lip gloss. I had like nothing, so
that's okay.
I was kind of glad that a lot of people didn't come through because I didn't have lots of stuff. But like I met other girls who sold different things, so and I actually had a couple sales from those girls. So it worked out that way.
Events you are never going to do anything in this business that is going to hurt you when it comes to socializing and building relationships. And whether it's an event, but there's like a time and place. Like the women's show here in Ottawa reaches out to me every year, like, oh yeah, do you want to do it? It's $1,000 for a table. So I straight up asked, oh God, no. I straight up asked, I could be making 20,000 and I still wouldn't drop $1,000 on a table, because the women's show, people go there. I know what they go there for. They go there for free samples and free stuff. And I'm not giving out anything that's free, really. Maybe some mask samples, but like that's it, and it's, people don't really go there. Some people go to spend money, but it's not like super common. So, and I actually reached out. There's a great like women's group here in Ottawa, and I said, who's done this women's show? Any unique presenters in particular? And a couple unique presenters wrote me. They're like, don't do it. We didn't break even. So you don't go to you get the cheaper events are always better. I've met potential customers, recruits, like just random things. Like even like the last event I remember doing, that's the time I met the girl that had hair extensions in. And I thought she did them. And I remember adding her to Facebook. So at an event, add everybody you can to Facebook. I added her. I saw she posted about it. I'm like, oh my God, do you do that? And I'm like, I was really interested. And I ended up meeting like 2 awesome girls that get a hair extension, that do my hair extensions. They joined my team for a brief moment in time. And, like everything kind of just skyballs. And like, I think the biggest thing in this business is girls quit before they know what could happen. Girls give up before they know what could happen. Like there's so many times in this business that I'm like, man, imagine I quit. And there's so many times where I look at my back office and I'm like, man, imagine she hadn't quit. Because I have so many girls, like I've had more than one orange status leave. I've had, it's brutal looking at back offices, and I'm like, man, the potential here are like girls that recruited girls that are now purple or green, or you know what I mean? Like it's crazy how many people give up before it started. Like if you don't give this business a good go, but like I'm not talking like do it for a year, and if you feel like you haven't advanced after a year, like that should be it. It's because you're clearly, if you haven't advanced after a year, you're doing something wrong, and you've got to figure out what that is. Like if something's not working, you have to change. You have to figure out what's not working. So if you like, the ideal situation is 500 a month and 3 recruits. That's what I've always done. I've always followed that 5-3 formula, and I've never not done that. Now, I mean, there's been a couple months where I like did, like 2 recruits, and I'm like, okay, I got to hustle next month and I'll get like 7. But it's not hard to do those things because it's the same thing over and over. It's share, sponsor, sell. I share on my wall. I share in parties. I sponsor people in parties, and I sell in parties. And I mean, parties aren't big sales. I don't go into parties ever expecting big sales, but these group ones, both the group ones, I've had 1 order from each so far. The second group one's still going. But I had a lady, like I had no idea who she was. Some old lady ordered like a duo. I'm like, oh my God, I got an order. I never get online orders. Like that is not something that I'm like, oh my God, online orders all the time. Never happens to me. So, and then I wrote her right away. I added her to Facebook, thanked her right away in the group. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to order some more stuff in a couple of days. I'm like, perfect. She didn't even order under the right link. I tried to reach out to support because it wasn't enough to get the girl anything yet. If she places another order, I'll just have to compensate with my Y cash and my half off items to make her happy. You always want to make your customers feel like amazing. Even the mascara I sold tonight, it's a girl on my soccer team. I'm like, whatever, just give me like $27 for it. I don't care. Just like, and I get when you're starting out, like you don't want to be doing those things, but like giving tax free, like people that are like, oh, I'm in a small town and everyone does it here. Give them a deal. Give them something that's going to make them come to you. Like give them a cute bag with it. Give them, like I used to do like thank you cards. I used to do all sorts of stuff. I got lazy in my day, but people appreciate that kind of stuff. Right now I'm giving up mask samples. Like it's my job. Every order is getting like 1 to 2 mask samples. I'm giving those out like crazy. I love having those now. So there's so many things that you can do that's going to really, that can really boost your business for sure. And you're never doing, and like try things, just try things. These group parties are so new to me. It's brand new and I'm loving it. You don't know what's going to work, and maybe it won't work, and maybe I'll go back to original, like doing single parties. But for now it's working. It's so much easier. It's working smarter, not harder. I say it all the time, like figure out what's going to work. So like I had SynShare, which was very helpful. SynShare got me to purple and it got me to black because I could host 40 to 50 parties. Those 2 months I hosted 40 to 50 parties. And I think a big thing is when you're embodying leadership, I would never expect you girls to like host parties, recruit. Like if I wasn't doing all these things, there's no reason for me to like tell you girls to do that. And a lot of leaders get into this sort of management role where they're like, well, like if my girls would just work harder. Like it drives me nuts. Like anytime girls write that, like don't depend on your girls then. If you're, and especially when you're trying to hit pink and blue, like the month I hit blue, I can even like quickly go back to that. I will see how quickly I hit September 2014. I hit pink, and then October 2014 I hit blue. So I went pink, blue, green. Like I had I had a quick jump up the ranks, but like I don't even know that I was really understanding. So the month I hit blue, I did $1,500 in sales, but I had 21 people on my team, and that month we did 6,400. So I must have had some rock stars on my team that had joined and had done crazy sales. April Stewart did 1,500 that month alone. She was still my team. Linda had joined. Linda did 2,200 that month. So like, and I'm telling you girls, all we did was hustle mascara. And if I'm looking at my back office, there's only one other girl that's still lingering around. But she actually did 0 that month. So she didn't help that situation. But I mean, it's just funny to look back. It's like, you know, like I look at my back office, like, of the 21 people that were on my team when I hit blue, there's 3 that are still around, 1 who is like kind of active, 2 who are elite green. Oh no, actually April's orange now. So April's orange, Linda's green. And they're still around and they're still rocking sales, and they've been doing this, and they're like 2 of my best friends now. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, and then the month I hit green, which was the next month, Linda did $8,000 that month. So, you know, I had some luck in the beginning. I call that luck because like for me that month I did 2,000, and then Linda did 8,000, and we did 16,000 as a team when I hit green. It wasn't like trying to push that 10,000. But I had some rock stars on my team, and I'm telling you girls, all we sold was mascara. That's all I pushed. I was ordering it in rounds of 10. That's all I focused on. That's all we had. And it was amazing. And it was a good product, just like Epic. Epic's friggin' awesome. I've had a couple people tell me they don't like it, but I had a couple people back then that told me they didn't like the 3D mascara either. It didn't matter because most people love it, right? So, even now I'm down to 3. I'm panicked. I'm ordering more. Like, because you always want to be the person that has it on hand, so that when someone tags you in a mom group or someone tags you in a yard sale group, because you're in all these groups, they'll tag you. I get tons of sales. I will always get that customer because I will personally message them and add them to Facebook immediately. I don't even comment in the comments. And this will happen to you eventually as you build your name. You'll get tagged and stuff. Do not comment, go right to the source and add them as a friend, and add them and message them, and you will get that contact. It's all about building up your clients. Give them the best service. Say, you know what, I'm going to give you tax-free, shipping-free. If I have to drive that mascara to her, I will, just to get that customer so that she comes back and now she's on my Facebook and now I'm her contact. This is going to cut us off in about 30 seconds, but hopefully that was helpful. And I'm sorry that it started late and it was confusing and it didn't work, but I'm hoping that the recording will be helpful to some people too. But we will do another one of these. I'm trying to do these every week. And like, even if it's like get to blue, like jump on, who cares? Because honestly, a lot of it's the same information. And it's good to know, like, as you move up the ranks,